guys, it's me again, Ruowen Huang. We're gonna come back and talk about disease. Before I begin, let me clarify one more time. I am not a doctor, not plan to be one too. What I share about you regarding to disease is not to replace the help that you are receiving right now, but hopefully can give you a perspective of a psychic. From a psychic point of view, simply share what I've been encounter, study, or observation, and hopefully it will become an aid to you. So anyway, before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I want to talk about the cause of Alzheimer. During my consultation time, I do encounter several clients whose family are suffering through Alzheimer's disease, and me myself, I have relatives also having Alzheimer's disease. So that's why I did spend time looking into it. Again, I'm simply sharing my personal opinion with you or observation with you. Hopefully, it will be a help to you. From what my study and understanding, or constant pattern of Alzheimer, I realized there are I can categorize it on the big two major things that will cause it. One is when there is major trauma or impact that happened in their life, or they've been constantly, long time, constantly suppressing certain feeling within themselves and never have a way to release them, and then their brain start to get overwhelmed, feeling that I can no longer handle it, I can no longer remember it. So usually I find, of course, if it's a major impact, you guys will understand they simply don't want to remember it. But what is so subtle of the things that people don't know is those patient who's constantly suppressing certain feeling within themselves to a point that they are simply overwhelmed, they no longer can take anymore. So this is when they will start showing the sign they cannot remember anything, or they cannot remember detail or the beginning sign of Alzheimer. So as you guys follow my blog so far, you will know our body, everything that you see here is simply response to what your soul command. In this case, your soul is commanding, I cannot do it, I cannot remember it, I cannot remember anything, right? So therefore, your physical form will then respond to that command. So if you have any friends or family member who is suffering to Alzheimer's disease, do understand there's something they don't want to remember, right? Even though most of patients will demonstrate really normal. No, they look all normal, everything is great. What it is, what would make them not want to remember me? I love them, we're all good, how come they don't want to remember me? See, this is a case you don't know. People may have, guilt, or people may have feel like there's so much going on. Usually I would say it relate to a lot of the internal emotion, like it's so overwhelmed. Sometimes can be the simplest things, and then it overwhelmed to a point that they don't know how to handle it. Therefore, they think the best solution to their soul is not to remember it. It have a lot to do with once learn to let go. So letting go is somewhat very important. I encourage you guys to exercise it in daily basis. Not in one big portion, but in daily basis. I can almost guarantee you in daily basis, you will often encounter things that you will have to learn to let it go, because you have to learn when to draw the line. You cannot always make all other people's problem your problem, because eventually you will become overwhelmed, and then your soul will set a command, I cannot do it all, I cannot remember it all. Therefore, you will most likely have a sign of Alzheimer, because my brain is simply over its capacity. But the truth is, our brain has a lot of capacity. We do. We can remember things from 1,000 years ago and continue accumulate it. So really, the capacity of brain is not as small as you think it is, but it is very possible human emotion get very overwhelmed by the things that they remember or feel they have to remember or feel they have to hang on to it. Therefore, it would go shut down, because it's like all machine that we all know. If you overuse it, it shut down. So Alzheimer, from my observation, is basically fall into that category. So two things: either the person impact a big event in their life that actually get themselves traumatized, or they simply don't want to remember it all, or they have a tendency of constantly suppress certain feeling that they have and pretend it's okay, pretend it's not there. If they continue telling themselves that, continue have a tendency of that, then they may also prone to this kind of disease. So hope that answered the question in regard of what's the cause of Alzheimer from a psychic point of view. As I say, I'm not a doctor, I'm simply sharing what I studied so far. And the way to cope with them, like I understand like a lot of people would try to cope with them, try to make them remember something. Everything happened in this universe for a reason. Seriously, I know, not easy things to digest, but everything happened for a reason. When the things like this happen, usually it's not just a test for them, it's also a test for people around them. And very often people would try to reduplicate things so those Alzheimer patients will be able to remember things. But the best way to do it, because from the observation that I studied so far, even though they don't remember all the event or all the things they say or things, whatever things that is, their personality don't change. Personality is still there, right? They live it like they own it, not knowing why they own it. See, every personality is built by accumulation. But you will realize even though they don't remember anything, their personality is there. So from patient or family or friends' point of view, your job is not so much to remind them what already happened in the past, because there's a reason why their soul give up the memory from the past. They don't need to remember it, right? But remember one thing, their personality is there. The personality is accumulated by the experience or things like that from the past. They just don't remember it. So the best way to deal with them is recreate a new experience based on the feeling. If you remember the good time you guys had before, now think, based on this good time, how can I recreate the different situation, different scenario? How can I make this feeling come again? Because the more you encourage that feeling, then they may actually remember it in a short gap or something. It really depends on their situation. So what you do is, instead of using the scenario to make them remember the thing, the best way to do is make them feel the same, because their personality don't change. If you know, you will probably know what can make them feel happy, what can make them feel, joy and all that. Recreate the same feeling. Then most likely that feeling would bring them a little gap out of memory back. So this is what I would say, like with you, it's not a fortunate thing that we can deal with, but if you happen to have people around it, try to recreate the emotion more than try to recreate the scenario. So if you do want them to have a little bit memory back. But what I see from a psychic point of view, I do believe the reason they forget the scenario or past or something, there is there for a reason. Maybe at a moment, at that time, they overthink too much, they live so much, or they take on so much of other people's worry and etc. I don't know. You at that moment may not have the same experience with them. By coming back, try to recreate a thing. You two of you, the one who remember and the one who doesn't remember, are able to experience things right at the moment. Experience the thing that maybe you didn't forget, you just never remember. You know what I mean? So by like I see a lot of evidence. The truth is, when you're able to remember something, right, in your memory you didn't forget, you just simply don't remember. You don't have the same experiences that they had before. By recreating, like recreate the same feeling, recreate the same emotion for both of you, it is a test and lesson itself. So anyway, I hope this will answer the question. Again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, I talk to you guys next time.